Alright, boys. Another day, another cut content from AniNews. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. ReZero's Deadly Sin of Old. Melancholy versus Greed. I'm down to see if we get more information on this, because honestly, that motherfucker's still kind of a mystery, bro. We've seen every witch so far. I think that's fucking peak, bro. That we've actually met every single witch. Let's see what AniNews has for us today, man.
The Devil of Melancholy was a much more significant character than
Yo,
what the anime.
these are not English subtitles, y'all. No subtitles, I guess. That's not English. That's just not English. Let's go.
Made him out to be. Not only was his very existence the sole reason for Sanctuary's creation, but he's also one of the deadly sins that were never recorded into history.
Yeah.
It's additional context that sets the stage for a much larger mystery that we weren't even aware of. So, details like that, plus more insight into his godlike authority, are just some of the many pieces of cut content that we'll cover in this episode.
Alright.
Let's begin.
Let's go.
Episode 45, The Beginning of the Sanctuary and of Ruin, covering the rest of Chapter 2 and Chapter 5 from Volume 14 of the light novel. Since I haven't talked about it before, we first need to go back a couple of episodes to when the tale of Sanctuary's past first began.
Okay.
That way we can see the entirety of Sanctuary's origins from the very beginning. Starting with Ryuzu's first encounter with Beatrice and Echidna, there was a pleasant feeling of shock that came when Ryuzu saw that Echidna had remembered her name. I mean, for a mere apostle like herself to be remembered by the very patron of her entire village, well, that was a surprise beyond any that she could have ever hoped for. It was an interaction that served to introduce the type of relationship that these two initially shared.
I think it's so wholesome. I think their relation, like the relationship between Echidna, Ryuzu, Betty, that shit was so wholesome. I think that's why it's so sad. Like, what they did to her in the episode, dude, that shit was so sad, bro. Like, the way they started playing that sad-ass OST to get her to the fucking crystal, dude. Man, fuck, man. That shit just hurt even more, bro, because, like, she just seems so wholesome, bro. She just seems so nice, man. Yeah, this Echidna feels very different to the modern Echidna. I think Echidna's manipulating everything. No surprise there. Water found in ocean, bro. Grass is green, man. Echidna's just Echidna, bro. Like, Echidna is still like a very complex character, bro. Bro, sometimes she evil, sometimes she good, sometimes she's just like chill. I don't know, man. She's something. She might be Aizen, maybe. Who fucking knows, bro?
As for Echidna's relationship with Beatrice, well, we saw that she was scolding Beatrice's lack of tolerance. But what the anime didn't show after was the mention of how she was going to Beatrice that these two initially shared. As for Echidna's relationship with Beatrice, well, we saw that she was scolding Beatrice's lack of tolerance.
Yeah.
But what the anime didn't show after was the mention of how she was going to fix that. Despite being Beatrice's mother, she most definitely wasn't going to be the one to teach Beatrice how to act. No, that job belonged to another person. A person who Echidna mentioned was going to be none other than Juice. As soon as Beatrice heard that name, her expression immediately changed to one of disapproval. But the very fact that she wasn't a fan of him was actually the exact reason why he was the perfect teacher for a lesson on tolerance. So this made it clear right from the get-go that Juice was acquainted with both Beatrice and Echidna.
That's crazy, dude. I think the craziest shit, dude, is just like something that I would have never fucking guessed. Is the fact that Juice has so much to do with everything since the fucking beginning, dude. Like, Petsugi's back in season 1, I didn't think we were gonna get this much on him. In, like, everything. Like in his past and stuff. Like, how big of a role he played, bro. Like, huh? Like, I would have never guessed he played a role with Betty, too? With the tolerance stuff? What?
It's clear right from the get-go that Juice was acquainted with both Beatrice
and Echidna.
Though. Now, as the days would pass, Echidna would start to visit Ryuzu's village ever more frequently, resulting in Roswaal himself flying over to meet her here. The first time that Ryuzu was able to meet him face to face, it brings us to one of the scenes that was only shown in the anime as a flashback of the good old days. It was pretty much a small portion of their everyday life before the upcoming tragedy.
Yeah.
The scene begins with a conversation between Roswaal and Ryuzu. Since Roswaal wasn't able to find his teacher, their topic of discussion had drifted over to the subject of Beatrice, mainly regarding their different levels of understanding when it came to how she showed her feelings. You see, what Ryuzu personally believed to be Beatrice's hate and rejection was instead something that Roswaal could easily tell to be her affection.
Oh yeah, of course. We know this. Dude, Betty's just like... Betty's not gonna be honest with herself, right? Like, she'll be like... like, if you ask for her help, she's gonna be like, I guess I can help you, I suppose, if you need it. But like, deep down, you know she's just trying to like... No, she's actually down to help, man. We know Betty, bro.
The very fact that she was making so many excuses just to see Ryuzu.
If she genuinely hated you, she would not create all these excuses to spend time with you. Exactly. Come on now. Betty's just... the whole library, bro.
Was more than enough proof to indicate.
Come on now, we know this.
So Roswaal was hoping that Ryuzu would one day be able to see it that way, as the very thought of it left her in silence. Echidna appeared shortly after to greet the guest that was waiting for her. It changed Roswaal's attitude from one of a charming gentleman to that of an eager student, leading him to rush over to her side just so he could tell her that he finished his homework. As you'd expect, the first thing he did was demonstrate his new...
Stream live for a sec, we good? We good? Hold on. Are we good? Let me know if we're good. We good? Still alive? Okay. Listen. Cause like I've been having internet issues, so just one sec. Yeah, all good? Okay. We're almost done, bro. Let's not have the internet die now, because we're almost done. All right, let's go back a little bit here. All right, hopefully we good.
Echidna appeared shortly after to greet the guest that was waiting for her. It changed Roswaal's attitude from one of a charming gentleman to that of an eager student, leading him to rush over to her side just so he could tell her that he finished his homework. As you'd expect, the first thing he did was demonstrate his newly acquired mastery of the mana of the 4 colors, producing them as balls of magical energy without any elemental attributes whatsoever. That was the main topic of the homework Echidna gave him. But even after demonstrating this new ability, Roswaal wasn't yet done showing everything he'd learned. He then went on to display his affinity with the additional colors, colors that Echidna hadn't even taught him about yet. The end result was a rainbow-colored showcase of magical energy.
Yo, that's crazy. Roswaal have the time to remind the teacher about homework, bro. Facts. But I think it's cool that he's talking about this, because look at the colors here. Y'all remember this episode? It was man, it was like that. It was like around. It's like R2, right? It was like episode 7 or 8 or some shit. Like when like Betty like was like pretty much like protecting Subaru and shit, dude. Dude, I saw like, these like little ball things. I'm like, dude, this looks fucking crazy.
A feat of learning that went to surprise even Echidna. She was impressed to see Roswaal pick up on such comprehensive magic in such a short period of time.
He's just that crazy.
Not only that,
I guess.
But she also couldn't help but commend his obsessive desire to learn. It was a compliment that left Roswaal with an immense feeling of pride and accomplishment.
Now, he said pride. Yo, if I hear the word pride every single time, I'm gonna point it out, bro. Yo, I'm sorry. Anyway.
That, but she also couldn't help but commend his obsessive desire to learn. It was a compliment that left Roswaal with an immense feeling of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah.
Now, the next cutscene gives us a bit more information about Ryuzu and the people of her village.
EA? Yeah, I don't know. Why did he show EA? Am I missing something? Pride and accomplishment? Why did he... I don't know if I can get the...
An immense feeling of pride and accomplishment.
Why did he just throw EA across the fucking screen? What?
Now, the next cutscene gives us...
Yeah, every time... Okay, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. Every time I hear the deadly sins in real life, anyone mention it, I'm gonna think of ReZero. Yo, I'm gonna think of ReZero every single fucking time, man. It's actually so fucking funny. Dude, if I hear pride, envy, I don't know. Maybe an on joke? Maybe, who knows? I don't know.
Compliment that left Roswaal with an immense feeling of pride and accomplishment.
Alright.
Now, the next cutscene gives us a bit more information about Ryuzu and the people of her village. We learn that many things, both good and bad, had happened to her before coming here.
Wait, no, go back. I need to lock in. EA is the Archbishop of Pride? Maybe.
It was a compliment that left Roswaal with an immense feeling of pride and accomplishment.
go.
Now, the next cutscene gives us a bit more information about Ryuzu and the people of her village. We learn that many things, both good and bad, had happened to her before coming here. But out of all those things, not a single good one was related to her homeland. It was a feeling of disdain that many of the other villagers carried as well, which is why they were all so fond of the witch who saved them.
Right.
Although Echidna didn't think much of it herself, many saw her as the one that brought them salvation. So it was for that reason that they couldn't thank her enough. And even when they did try to express their gratitude.
Yeah, I mean, bro, honestly, I could definitely see why Roswaal and just like everyone has like this like big like love and glaze for Echidna, but it's like, how could they not, right? After everything she's done for them, it's kind of like, it kind of just makes so much fucking sense, no? You know what I mean?
Only once did Echidna ever respond to it. The one time that she did, though, something very peculiar had happened. She had basically accepted all their thanks with what Ryuzu could tell was a very subtle smile on her face. A very faint expression of happiness that Ryuzu could barely notice. But once she did, that was all she had to see in order to finally understand why Echidna was going to such great lengths for them. There was something about it that made her feel as if Echidna just wanted to keep smiling like how she was right there.
Yeah.
That was the reason for which she believed Echidna was helping them. As the peaceful days continued, so too did Roswaal's study of magic and Beatrice's assistance with the laundry. There were even times when Ryuzu would sit in on various interactions between Roswaal and Beatrice.
Well, that's just so wholesome. That's just so fucking wholesome, y'all. Like, you know, they just be chilling, bro. They were just chilling, and then they fucking just, and then Ryuzu just gets cooked, bro. Like, they knew what they were doing, bro. They knew what they were doing.
Most of the times they would just be some lighthearted arguments, but sometimes they would end up in all-out magical duels. Whatever it was,
magical duels.
Ryuzu would always end up smiling at the sight of it. There was something about the way they argued as if they were genuine siblings that just went to make her really happy.
That's just
Much
so...
to the point that she
Aww.
considered these to be some of the happiest moments of her life.
Oh, the happiest moments of her life? God damn, dude. And the way they killed her off... Not killed, but you know what I mean. Like, the fucking crystal thing, bro. That moment was... pain.
That said, it wasn't just her that was having a much better time, though. For a lot of the other villagers as well, this was a brand new start in a place that they were happy to consider their new homeland. But as much as they hoped for these peaceful days to last forever, the approaching disaster was impossible to avoid.
Oh shit.
Bringing us now to the beginning of the new episode.
Here we fucking go.
What we saw in the first 2 minutes wasn't actually something from the main story. It was instead taken from a side story that focused on the early development of Roswaal's affection.
Oh, okay.
A time in the past when Roswaal was unable to control his own magical power. Because this was an era before mages and magic were well understood, not a single person was able to recognize his true potential. The only thing they saw was a frail, unhealthy boy. Someone they could only consider to be a nuisance. During this time, though, there did exist a being who possessed enough knowledge and ability to sense Roswaal's insane magical talent.
Yep.
So, when she inevitably crossed paths with this young, misguided Roswaal, she took it upon herself
God.
to save him from his excess mana and to teach him how to use it.
Okay, cool, but like, god damn. Dude, did they have to animate that kiss like that? God damn, bro. You know how they, how they like got like moments where like the animation is a little like weird, or like the proportions of the characters? They locked the fuck in for that kiss, bro. Yo, they used the entire budget for that shit, bro. What the hell?
That was how the two ended up meeting.
Fucking hell.
Now, after all the slice of life stuff had come to its end, we get to the part where Echidna and the others were preparing for Hector's arrival. When Echidna was talking about the theoretical structure of the barrier being complete, she was basically referring to the gathering of demi-human blood within the cathedral. There were now a sufficient number of demi-humans to meet the requirements for its creation.
Okay.
As for the construction of the spell itself, this was referring to the purification of the magic crystal that would serve as the barrier's catalyst. It also pertained to the ritual that would link the blood of those in the cathedral to the foundation of the barrier.
Yeah.
All Echidna needed to make it happen was just a little bit of time. So that's exactly what Roswaal went out to get her. He left to confront the intruder whose very identity embodied the essence of lethargy. Now,
what? Yo, y'all gotta fill me in on that. What does that mean? what is lethargy?
Identity embodied the essence of lethargy.
What does this mean? What? what is lethargy? What does that mean? What does that mean? Y'all know what that means, bro? Because, like, low-key, I have zero clue what he's talking about here. So, I don't know. I mean, oh, Slav. Okay. Okay. Because, like, I was like, I don't know what... Okay, the word he used here... the word he used here. Like, being tired. Lethargy is a state of severe tiredness, sluggishness, and a lack of energy or motivation, often accompanied by mental dullness. Did you just go to Google? Or did you just have that shit already in your brain, bro? What the hell? That was quick, but thank you. Okay. Basically depression, but less. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yo, thank you for filling me in, bro. I had no idea what that word meant.
Now, what the anime didn't quite show here was that Hector was actually trying to get Roswaal.
Google, bro, copy pasted. Yo, I was like, yo, I don't know if bro. Okay, all right.
The essence of lethargy.
Good.
Now, what the anime didn't quite show here was that Hector was actually trying to get Roswaal to give up. I mean, it was pretty apparent that he could have killed him anytime he wanted. But instead, he chose to try and come up with reasons for Roswaal to stop. He wanted to make Roswaal think there was no shame in giving up after putting so much effort in.
Oh,
As we saw though, these words didn't do much to shake Roswaal's resolve. So it left Hector with no choice but to incapacitate him for good. What he did was he opened his palm a minimal distance away from Roswaal's chest, creating an invisible force so strong that it began to crush every bone and organ in his body.
Oh, shit.
It was an action that went to show that Hector could apply his power at range.
Yeah, he could definitely apply his power. I think it was mentioned though. I think he there was like a line where it was like mentioned like his like organs and everything was crushed, but that's way more in detail of how it happened though. Jesus.
All he needed to do was simply open his palms in the direction he wanted to attack.
Open his palms in the direction he wants to attack? What? What kind of broken ass power is this, bro? He loves giving up on things because being melancholy, I guess? Wow, okay, that makes sense.
It was simply open his palms in the direction he wanted to attack.
Oh.
Once that condition was met, whatever object was in its path would be met by some imperceivable force of sheer destruction. So that's what Roswaal was trying to save Ryuzu from.
That was broken.
Although we saw his attack work to save her in the anime, the same couldn't be said for the Ryuzu in the novels. You see, Roswaal's interference had only bought her an extra couple of seconds. The instant Hector had taken care of the target in front of him, he immediately turned back around and opened his palm in the direction of the cabin.
What?
Toppling the entire structure with a pressure so immense that it was only a miracle that Ryuzu's bones and joints hadn't been snapped out of shape by it.
Holy shit! That entire thing got cut? What? Yo! He cooked Roswaal and said, alright, over here. Over here. Like, oh my god. What? That's crazy.
Luckily for her, she just so happened to be in a position that allowed her body to collapse parallel to the floor, making it so that none of her bones immediately shattered from the weight of the impact. While this did mean that she was still alive for now, it didn't change the fact that her body was about to get squished by the wreckage and ever-increasing pressure of it.
Damn.
She could feel Hector applying more and more force atop the now completely destroyed cabin. Right as she was about to accept these as her final moments, the pressure that was squeezing the life out of her just suddenly vanished. She wasn't exactly sure how that was possible, but the instant she raised her head, she knew that it had to do with the appearance of Echidna. Echidna's mere presence had caused Hector to cease any hostilities towards the others. I mean, the only reason he had crushed the cabin in the first place was to check to see if Echidna was in there. But now that she was out in the open, there wasn't any need to focus on anyone else but her. And that brings us to a fight that I'm sure we all wished we could have seen.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yo, I would have loved to see that fight. Listen, because all I know about Echidna cardio. Y'all saw that break time? Listen, spoiler image detected? Is it actually? Like the one that was shown? I'm not going back then, but listen. I would have loved to see that fight, but like, it's just funny because like, all I know about Echidna in her fighting power is that break time. The fucking break time where she was running and she has like no cardio, bro. Fucking crashing into things. She's so slow. So sluggish. Like, is this girl really the Witch of Greed? Like,
the reason we didn't get to see any of it though is because the fight itself was described to be one beyond the realm of human comprehension.
That's why we didn't see it? The fight is beyond human comprehension. Bro! Yo, the animators would not have been able to actually even get that shit to fucking happen. Yo, the animators would have been like, yo, what? I want to see it anyway. Show that shit. Yo, show me a fight. Bullshit that is beyond human comprehension. What would... What the fuck were we gonna see? A clash between two witch factor holders. I mean, true, yeah, but like... Beyond human comprehension? Like, okay. Did the author just like get lazy, bro? Did he just not wanna he just not wanna do the fight, bro? Too much work? They just stand there menacingly? Maybe everything's happening. Just call the aliens to animate, cause like listen, they were moving. Maybe they were moving too fast, that's why they couldn't do it? I don't fucking know, but that's fucking funny. Beyond human comprehension, so they just didn't fucking do it. I guess, man. I guess.
Only those on the same level as Hector or Echidna could even hope to understand what was happening during it.
I mean, technically the viewers are on the same level. We're seeing everything, right? I mean, maybe not. But like, come on, man. I would have loved to see that shit, dude. Bro.
It was described to be one beyond the realm of human comprehension. Only
Whatever.
those on the same level as Hector or Echidna could even hope to understand what was happening during it. So, while these two supernatural beings were fighting with indescribable amounts of mana, Ryuzu had been taken to the crystal just like how we saw in the anime.
Okay.
When she set her eyes on it for the first time ever. The sight was so intoxicating that Beatrice had to warn her not to touch it.
Oh, shit.
You see, there was so much magical energy emanating from this physical concentration of mana that it wouldn't have been surprising if she did something rash like that. In the end, though, whether she did or not didn't really matter since she was going to make herself the core of the barrier anyway. For context on what exactly this did, well, Ryuzu becoming the core would instantly overwrite the mana of the soil. It would complete the process of making the forest a sanctuary right away, resulting in a much quicker turnaround than what Echidna had initially planned.
Okay.
As Beatrice did all she could to oppose the idea of it, she actually went on to specify as to what the true purpose of Sanctuary really was. It was never intended to be this safe haven for the demi-humans living in it, and it certainly wasn't a research facility intended to grant Echidna immortality. No, this was always meant to be a place that Echidna could use to deal with the man who was constantly pursuing her. That was the only reason for its development.
That makes sense.
Even so, Ryuzu couldn't care less about that. All that mattered was that this was the place where she was truly able to live her life the way that she wanted.
So sad, bro. Ryuzu low-key, bro, that entire thing is wholesome, bro. Bro, the fucking illustrations that he uses sometimes are fucking peak too, bro. God damn it, bro. Also, why is she naked? It's a good question. Maybe the power disintegrated her clothes? Not part of her OD, and they're unnatural? The clothes? Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the clothes are technically not part of the OD. I say OD. It's odd, technically. I just say OD because it's 2 letters, but it's technically odd. Anyway, yeah, that makes a lot of... Yeah. The true reason for sanctuaries existed, and yada yada. Yeah.
Rather than constantly be treated like a half-devil by the people of the outside world, Ryuzu was...
OD? Oh, nah. Now we're gonna get in an argument. Is it OD or odd? OD or odd together? I still haven't figured this out since fucking Memory Snow, by the way, just so y'all know. OD or odd? OD or odd? OD? Odd. Because this is something that I still haven't figured out, by the way. Like, people tell me that it's like odd, but like, I don't fucking know. You know what, bro? Nah, it's odd, bro, as in your mom. Go to one, bro. Go to one. Yo, go to one. Odd? Okay. Thank you, Ryu. You know what? Thank you, Ryu. You actually gave me a fucking, you actually gave me an answer there, bro. Thank you, bro. Odd? Okay. Alright. Enough. Get distracted.
She was truly able to live her life the way that she wanted. Rather than constantly be treated like a half-devil by the people of the outside world, Ryuzu was instead able to spend her days doing things that made her happy. So it was for that reason that she was willing to sacrifice herself in order to protect everyone else's happiness.
Damn.
Now, the rest of Sanctuary's origin is pretty much as we saw. But where the anime starts to take quite a bit of liberties is in the discussion that comes after it. there was some pretty important information excluded from the conversation revolving around Echidna's true objective,
Oh shit.
as well as Subaru's curiosity into the person known as the Devil of Melancholy. The first to comment on Shima's story was actually the Ryuzu who was hearing about Sanctuary's true objective for the first time. Remember, all the other Ryuzus and even Subaru believed Sanctuary to be a place intended to research immortality. But now that it was coming to light that her true goal was always to deal with this devil, it was only natural that both Subaru and Ryuzu were curious about it.
Fair.
That said, Subaru did already have a slight idea as to who this devil was.
Yeah.
You see, somehow he was aware that there were deadly sins aside from the 7 he currently knew. According to him, he'd heard in the past that there were more than just the modern ones. Sins he believed went by the titles of melancholy and vanity.
Oh shit.
Although this information was coming from an uncertain origin, no one could doubt that Subaru actually knew what he was talking about. I mean, since melancholy had existed in the story that Ryuzu.
So you're telling me Subaru out here giving the actual information and everyone was like, nah, I don't believe you, bro. Yo, just somehow, Subaru IRL lore. That's it, right? Subaru tapped into IRL more than the viewer? No more than they cut it? That's crazy. Yo, Subaru knows more about IRL lore than me, bro. Dude, I didn't know about this whole... Okay, just so y'all fucking know, I didn't know about the 7 Deadly Sins stuff until ReZero. I'm not even lying. I didn't know about it till now. Like, I swear. Like, I didn't know about the 7 Deadly Sins. I didn't... Okay, when I figured out about the 7 Deadly Sins, I didn't know about the other 2 sins. Okay, whoa. I knew of the 7 Deadly Sins. I just didn't know specifically, right? Like, specifically, like, each name, like, individually. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know about, like, the whole... That's why in episode 15, I had to go all the way back, bro. Because I didn't really know, like, the whole, like, 7 Deadly Sin thing and what they were fucking talking about. Dead ass. I didn't know. So, and then also, I didn't know about the other 2. The 2 that got excluded, like... Someone hasn't seen Full Metal Alchemist? No. I've heard that Full Metal Alchemist also has that stuff. Hey, that's not a bad thing, though. If Full Metal Alchemist ever wins a poll, bro, we can watch Full Metal Alchemist on the channel. Listen, I'm just saying. But there's a lot of anime out there I haven't watched either. Which means I haven't watched 7 Deadly Sins either, see? I don't know. But it's funny that Subaru's good at astronomy. He is? Was that ever mentioned? Wait, was that mentioned? Did I forget about that? Was he actually just always good at astronomy? That's crazy if he is, but if that was mentioned before. But yeah, but yeah. And Memory Snow? Fuck, that was a long time. Oh yeah, Memory Snow. My dumb ass. Yeah, Memory Snow when he was talking about the stars and shit. Yeah, my bad. Oops. Yeah, that did happen. Memory Snow. Subaru also knows some alchemy and chemistry. Bro, Subaru just knows everything? Alright. I guess Subaru just somehow knows everything, y'all, according to the plot.
Origin. No one could doubt that Subaru actually knew what he was talking about. I mean, since melancholy had existed in the story that Ryuzu gave, it wasn't impossible to believe that a vanity existed as well.
Okay. Just go back a little bit. Let's lock in.
He believed went by the titles of melancholy and vanity. Although this information was coming from an uncertain origin, no one could doubt that Subaru actually knew what he was talking about.
Oh, also, when he says uncertain origin, yeah. They're not gonna believe the human lore? IRL lore? Nobody knows what he's fucking talking about. They think he's fucking crazy.
I mean, since melancholy had existed in the story that Ryuzu gave, it wasn't impossible to believe that a vanity existed as well.
Yeah.
So the only conclusion that anyone could come to was that these were simply the deadly sins of old.
The deadly
titles
sins
given to
of
witch-like
old.
entities that weren't ever recorded into history.
That's a cool ass name though. The deadly sins of old? That's fucking tough, I ain't gonna lie.
As for the reason why they were kept hidden, well, Subaru could only assume that it was part of Echidna's cover-up. It was pretty obvious now that she was trying to hide both the true purpose of Sanctuary and the existence of this devil.
Yeah.
So there must have been some pretty important reason for doing so. Now, given that Ryuzu had just found out her entire existence was based on lies, it was very apparent that she was feeling quite dejected by it. But that quickly changed when Ram was able to console her with a harsh yet gentle statement, basically saying how even if Ryuzu's duty was nothing but a false one, there must have been other things that made her time in Sanctuary what it was.
Exactly.
She was trying to help Ryuzu look beyond this duty that she felt so bound by. Aside from that, there was also a bit of discussion regarding Beatrice as well. But I think that's something that'll be included a little bit later.
Okay.
So instead we'll skip ahead to the conversation with Roswaal.
Alright.
One subtlety the anime didn't include was that Garfield was standing behind both Subaru and Otto.
Oh.
It was the perfect position to defend the two should Roswaal try anything funny. Because this was so glaringly obvious, Roswaal couldn't help but show a bit of disdain towards the group's preparedness. It was part of the reason why he started to reprimand Garfield for his supposed lack of resolve.
Ah, okay, that makes sense also why he just like lashed out like that at Garfield. Okay, yeah, so like the positions that were standing, but they were like ready. Okay, what the fuck?
He was trying to instill doubt in order to regain the upper hand against them.
Yeah.
But once he saw that that plan wasn't going to work, Roswaal's expression slightly changed to one of anxiousness.
Oof.
It was very similar to the one he showed when Otto had been introduced. So it was becoming ever more apparent that the game board he'd so meticulously set up was crumbling to pieces.
Losing.
Now, the reason that Roswaal was getting so angry here was partly due to Subaru's reluctance to use his greatest asset. But what got to him the most was the fact that Subaru so firmly believed that feelings could change. To Roswaal, this was something he considered to be impossible, and he made sure to express it in a fit of rage unlike one that Subaru had ever seen before.
Dude, yeah, man, that scene was fucking crazy. I mean, but we know this though. Bro, what did Elsa say in the break time, dude? She, like, the whole thing about, like, he doesn't even see, like, human lives as, like, I don't know, like, he doesn't even see lives as, like, fucking, like, I don't know what she said, but pretty much, we know Roswaal is fucking insane, right? He doesn't care about human lives and who has to die or what he has to sacrifice to get what he wants, dude. Like, we know this motherfucker's crazy, dude. Like, it makes so much fucking sense, but, like, Jesus, it's still fucking wild, you know?
It was as he did, though, that Subaru felt like he could finally understand what Roswaal was thinking. For the first time ever, Subaru felt like he knew exactly what Roswaal wanted. You see, the reason he had so harshly talked about Garfield's decade of guilt and Amelia's century worth of sins was because he himself wanted someone else to affirm his own feelings. He wanted to prove to himself that such deeply rooted feelings simply can't change. That's why he tried so hard to keep Garfield wallowing in his own weakness. He wouldn't accept any other worldview that didn't align with his own. So, for someone like Subaru to come around and start proving otherwise with the very same people he tried to manipulate, well, that just went to make him more and more angry.
Get fucked. Get fucked. Yeah, expendable. That's what the word I was looking for. Yeah. Bro just wasn't a kid to love. He said the whole board. He thought he had the light novel, bro. He thought he had everything written. Man, you wrong, bro. That's fucking crazy. Yo, Subaru, bro. Yo, shout out Subaru, bro. You about to win this bet. I don't give a fuck.
It was a clash of completely opposite ideals in which neither side would ever agree with each other.
For sure.
But if I had to say which was more dedicated to the stance they sided with, then I'd probably have to say Roswaal. I mean, his feelings are the sole reason behind why he's lived this long.
For sure.
So that's a pretty impressive showcase of unwavering resolve. Don't get me wrong though, his body isn't what's immortal. The person that was Roswaal A. Mathers died over 400 years ago.
Yeah.
The part of him that remained, though, was a long-cherished desire lasting 4 centuries long. A feeling of love so strong that it gave birth to a curse that ended up binding the entire Mathers lineage, resulting in the creation of the single devil known as Roswaal himself. So that's why the Roswaal name hasn't changed in over 400 years. Anyway, the rest of the discussion was pretty much the same, bringing us to the end of the episode. Since all the stuff about everyone's past has finally come to its end, we'll finally be able to get back to the main story and see exactly how Subaru is going to beat Roswaal's plans.
Oh shit!
It should make for quite the entertaining next few episodes. Until then, though,
yo, I'm hyped.
As always, thank you so much for watching.
Yo, we've dealt with the backstories. We've looked at the backstories. Like, it's time. And now it's just the plot, right? How are we gonna end this season? I'm fucking excited. How is this season gonna end? Bro, I don't know how this season's gonna end. I don't know what the fuck Subaru's gonna do. I don't know where it's going, but like, we have to somehow just solve every single problem and have everything just line up. Because I think this is the loop. The loop where everything actually works out, so. I don't know. Side note, author made sure we all do Roswaal J. Mathers had a big boobus. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know the author. Bro, the author just be answering anything, huh? The author just be answering anything, I guess, in his Q&As or whatever the fuck, bro. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's cut content. Shout out to you, AniNews. Once again, thank you so much for the cut content. If y'all enjoyed it and you're new, subscribe. Leave a like down below. The full uncut version to all ReZero content will be on Patreon. As always, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.